In the last 2 months, at least 5 people have given a wanted murder suspect a ride, a place to sleep, or a phone to use. And according to investigators, some of them knew exactly who she was and helped her anyway. Florida police call her a master manipulator. She's cycled through at least 4 different names since June. She's changed her hair, her face, her whole identity. And as of right now, she still hasn't been caught. Before we get into how she's evaded capture, I want you to know who this case actually started with. It's easy to let a manhunt become the whole story and forget there's a person underneath it. Jason Christopher Coulthart was 43. Originally from New Jersey, he'd settled into life in Florida's Panhandle, the kind of place people move to for a slower pace, for the water, for a fresh chapter. He had a 20-year-old son, parents, a younger brother. Everyone who's spoken publicly about him describes the same thing, a man who showed up for the people in his life. On May 24, 2026, Jason was last seen leaving the college condominiums in Niceville. Then, no trace. His family did what any of us would do. They reported him missing, and they waited, holding on to whatever hope you can hold on to in that situation. The woman investigators would eventually connect to his disappearance is Isabelle Rose Johnson, 38. And I have to be honest with you here, because I won't pretend to know more than what's public. To this day, authorities haven't disclosed how Jason and Isabelle actually knew each other. No confirmed relationship, no official motive. Just 2 lives that intersected sometime before May 24th, in a way that ended in tragedy. On June 25th, acting on tips from the missing persons investigation, deputies found human remains buried on a property in Freeport, about 20 minutes from where Jason was last seen. DNA testing confirmed what his family had been dreading for a month. It was him. Once Jason's remains were identified, a warrant went out for Isabelle Johnson on an open count of murder. That's the moment this stopped being a local missing persons story and became a manhunt. Days after Jason's body was found, security cameras caught Johnson inside a business in Destin. She looked, by every account, completely ordinary. Honestly, that detail unsettles me more than almost anything else here. Whatever happened, she didn't unravel. She kept functioning, kept moving. The Walton County Sheriff's Office started using language you don't see often in an official statement. Cunning. A master manipulator. Someone who disguises herself well. Investigators believe she cut and dyed her hair specifically to change how she looks. She's allegedly used at least 4 aliases since going on the run. Harley, Jessica Elaine Bowman, Jessica Elaine Thrush, and Jessica Dowdy. And here's what I think is the most important detail in this entire case. Investigators say she didn't stay hidden through skill alone. She did it by leaning on other people's compassion, telling them she was in crisis, sometimes claiming to be a victim of domestic violence herself, to get a ride, a phone, somewhere to sleep for the night. It worked. For weeks, across 3 states, Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, it worked. Multiple agencies got involved. The reward for information climbed from $11,000 to $16,000 once the U.S. Marshals joined the search. Now remember those people I mentioned at the very start? The ones who helped her? This is where we find out who they actually were, and why some of them kept helping her even after they knew. But before we go there, if you prefer true crime that waits for the truth instead of guessing at it, hit subscribe. I'd rather get this right than get it first. Investigators suspected early on that Johnson couldn't have avoided capture this long completely alone. They were right. And the scale of it is honestly more than most people expect. So far, 5 people have been arrested for allegedly helping her. Bobby Jean Wagstaff was charged with accessory after the fact, along with a separate drug possession charge. A married couple, Martin and Sandra Leverton, allegedly drove Johnson around in the days after Jason's body was discovered, and helped move her between homes while she was actively wanted. 2 more, Michael Ray White, 74, and Kathleen Morris, 59, were arrested for allegedly helping her evade law enforcement in the days that followed. Morris reportedly admitted to providing transportation and supplies, and to misleading investigators when they asked whether Johnson had been at her home. Sit with that for a second. Not one lone helper. A small network of ordinary people who, according to police, knew who they were sheltering and chose to do it anyway. Then there's the motive, or the closest thing to one that surfaced publicly. An arrest affidavit references a witness who told investigators Johnson had talked about wanting Jason gone, describing him as a source of ongoing frustration in her life. That same witness claimed Jason had been threatening to interfere with Johnson's custody of her children. I want to slow down here, because this is exactly the kind of detail that's easy to overstate. This is one witness's account. In one report, it hasn't been tested in court, and Isabelle Johnson has not been convicted of anything. But if it holds up, it suggests whatever led to Jason's death may have started as something painfully ordinary, a dispute over kids, over custody, and ended somewhere no dispute like that should ever end. To me, that's the detail I can't shake. Not some elaborate criminal plot, an ordinary conflict, and a decision that can't be taken back. As of this recording, Isabelle Johnson is still out there, still wanted, still, according to investigators, moving under names that aren't hers. Walton County has made this about as public as a case can get. Her face, her aliases, her description, pushed out to as many people as possible, because that's usually how manhunts like this actually end. Not with a standoff, with one person, somewhere, recognizing a face they weren't supposed to. Honestly, what stays with me isn't how clever she's been. It's how ordinary she's had to become to pull this off. Just someone willing to ask strangers and acquaintances for help. Over and over, banking on the fact that most people want to believe the best about a person standing in front of them. Jason Coulthart's family is still waiting for the rest of this story, the part where someone is held accountable for what happened to him. Until Isabelle Johnson is found, that part stays unwritten. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.
Shh.